Assalamualaikum and hi, I'm Nur Christina Sofia binti Abdullah and I want to present about mass tourism for the subject STU 2063 ecotourism industry in Malaysia. So I will explain in brief about definition and concept of mass tourism. It refers to the movement of a large number of organized tourists to popular holiday destination for recreational purpose. Mass tourism is a phenomena that is characterized by the use of standardized packaged products in mass consumption. Conceptually, this type of tourist feature standardized leisure product and experience package for mass tourists. This is for the advantage and disadvantage of mass tourists. For the advantages of the mass tourists is jobs are generated by tourists in many areas. In the initial construction of the resort, in travel, in food provision, and in other service-related industry. Second is local people benefit directly from employment. Next is road, rail facilities, electricity service, and others all need improving to accommodate the tourists. That the local people also benefit from this infrastructure developments. After that, tourists introduce new value and culture and learn about new cultures. This causes cultural understanding. So the lastly is the local people. The local tax base increase so the local government can invest in school, healthcare and social service. For disadvantage of the mass tourists is transnational cooperation. TNC from rich countries are often involved. This can result in a lot of profit leaving the country. Second is job can be seasonal, especially in beach and skiing based resort. People can therefore find themselves out of work in the close season. Next is tourists consume huge amount of resources including food and water. This type of tourist is particularly unsustainable in this manner. After that, tourists introduce new value and cultures. This causes cultural pollution. Lastly, is land is lost from farming to tourist development. This is the several effective ways or measures in order to reduce the impact of mass tourism. The first is reduce the numbers of tourism in some areas. Second is ecotourism. Next is green tourism. After that, implementation of strict law. And lastly is the need for management and stewardship. The first effective ways or measure in order to reduce the impact of tourists are reduce the number of tourists in some areas. To reduce tourist number in some areas by putting limitation to the numbers of tourists allowed to visit a specific area per year. Moreover, the government should also double the entry fees. This can maintain the income from this area. Despite that, the limitation in the number of visitors per year also means to reduce the environmental impact on the natural ecosystem. Second is using the ecotourism. Putting an increased focus on ecotourism so that they can help to preserve the wildlife and the environment. This also helps in reducing social conflict between authorities and other groups such as tribal people or farmers. For example, ecotourism in Kenya and Sabah. Next is through green tourism. Green tourism is a term widely used to convey what we mean by responsible, ethical, or sustainable tourism. It is only place and emphasis upon protecting the environment, but also involve the local people in making decisions that affect their land and living. It can improve the preservation and transmission of cultural and historical tradition. After that, the effective ways or measures in order to reduce the impact of mass tourism is implementation of strict law in conservation areas. The marine environment and its natural resources should be managed more efficiently in order to minimize the environmental effects on coral reef, mangrove, and all other threatened habitats. Lastly is the need for management and stewardship. The pressure from the growth of tourist numbers have increased the need for management everywhere. Effective management only begins after tourism has begun and some damage has already occurred. For example, tourism in Antarctica. So that's all from me. Thank you.